Now CII President Shobana Kamineni joins in with her views on how the Indian industry has suffered or not suffered after 1 year of note ban. Ms. Kamineni, thank you so much for joining in. The BJP is celebrating this day as the anti-black money day. Opposition has termed it the Black Day. How does corporate India see November 8th?
It's just another day in the history of India of us trying to move forward to make this a better place to do business in. And that's what we look at it, that this is a year where the government has used it as an opportunity to go by their election promise that they'll clean up India, that they'll make it a better place, easier to do business. They've done that by demonstrating 30 places we moved. So all these are calculated steps. The Jan Dhan, opening bank accounts for the unbanked. Then after that, making sure that, this banking laws, the bankruptcy laws, recapitalizing banks, just look at everything in perspective. And then you're sitting there with the World Bank estimated that India, that about in 2007, 23% of our economy, or 23% of the GDP was an alternate, a parallel economy. You're looking at statistics that say a cash to GDP ratio at 12.4%, which is such an outlier in the rest of the world. Such a large cash economy can never be conducive to a place of doing business. So having used this demonetization as the big bang, there were a series of reforms that happened after that, and everything kind of came together. So you look at it as a red letter day or a black letter day, depending on where you sit. But for business, I think that it's for us on moving forward.
Okay, but Shobana, the key question really is cash back in the system. What's your feedback from corporates, especially in sectors like real estate and gold, where you saw the maximum usage of cash and thereby that amount of black money in these two sectors?
So real estate is actually kind of dull now in India because of, they're battling RERA, and they'll get to that. But so as a cash data point, just to give you, that today we're about at 95% cash has come back into the system. But what the real worry was that when at 12.4% of GDP, today we're at 9.4. But if we were still at 12.4 and growing, so the 1,000 rupee notes were growing at 109%. So these were trends that unless you did something, really big, you wouldn't be able to arrest that trend. So what we've done is actually moved it back. We've moved that needle back a bit, and then simultaneously created more opportunities of working, doing your payments, running your business all digitally. And I think that more and more of this is coming to fruition. So I'm very hopeful of the fact that look at the young generation. How many of them are really using cash? They don't think it's that cool anymore.
Okay, fair enough. Shobana, but note ban and GST were disruptive policy measures. In hindsight, do you think demonetization and GST should have been spaced out?
The jury will always be out on that. I think that what we have to look at is how it was managed now that it's in. And I think that the government is actually working overtime. They've understood the problems of GST.